I am glad to finally meet you in person, guests from the Astral Express. I'm Fei Xiao, the general of the Xianzhou Yao Cheng.
Let me introduce our guest to you. The one dressed in green.
He's the reincarnation of Imbibitor Lune, and the person behind him is the newest member of the crew. I've heard a lot about you. Outside the reports from the Law Fu, the Skyfaring Commission of the Yaoqing has also gathered plenty of information about both of you. I've been eager to meet you face to face for reasons that I'm sure General Jing Yuan has explained, right? That's right. But don't worry, this isn't a trial. I just want to have a chat with you and get a better understanding of the facts. According to General Jing Yuan's report, the Ruin Legion is to blame for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, and all Arbiter Generals should pay attention to the Ruin Author's movements. Over the years, the Destruction's minions have wreaked havoc on countless worlds, and the Alliance has been keeping an eye on them. But no one expected them to join hands with the remnants of the Abundance. The damage caused by the Ambrosial Arbor crisis was far less severe than expected, which is good news for us. However, it was quite different from the Ruin Legion's usual style of destroying life wherever they go. While I trust the bravery of the Divine Foresight and the Nameless, I'm curious about some details missing from the report. I'd like to take this chance to have an exchange with both of you. Let me be clear, the questions I'll ask might not reflect my actual thoughts, so please don't take offense if any of my questions seem a bit harsh.
Please go ahead, General. But keep in mind we can only answer based on what we know. And perhaps you already have the answers to your questions in your heart.
You have a clever tongue. I like it.
So Merlin's claw is quite articulate. Right now, her intentions are unknown, and Jing Yuan wants us to be honest. Maybe I'll just stick to the facts we know.
Let's cut to the chase. Before the crisis struck, the Astral Express was guided here by a Stellaron hunter, a wanted felon, in an attempt to resolve the Stellaron crisis. However, everyone in the cosmos knows of the Stellaron hunter's reputation. So, why did you place so much trust in them? Could it be that some of you have a connection with them?
Rumor has it that Elio, the leader of the Stellaron Hunters, possesses the power to see into the future. He foresaw that the Xianzhou and the Express would have important roles to play in the war against Nanook. That's why we were lured here to the Law Fu, to deal with the Stellaron crisis and fulfill the prophecy.
General Jing Yuan believes in this prophecy too, as mentioned in the report. I'm curious why you didn't question it at all. Could it be because one of the Stellaron hunters is actually an old acquaintance of General Jing Yuan?
Please be cautious with your words, Merlin's Claw. Let's avoid sowing doubt among our comrades. That Stellaron hunter used to be my disciple. So are you putting my loyalty in question too?
I'm simply bringing up the doubts about General Jing Yuan that exist within the Alliance. Since I'm representing them, perhaps you can just imagine me as one of those old geezers. Let's move on to the next question. The report suggests that Don Shu, the master of the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus, colluded with the Lord Ravager and used the power of the Stellaron to resurrect the Ambrosial Arbor. But here's the thing. Don Shu was just a chief alchemist. Even if she colluded with our enemies and summoned the Stellaron, how did she manage to bypass the Videodora guards around the Ambrosial Arbor?
I personally met Dan Shu once. Her closest friend was killed during the war on the Fanghu, and she harbored deep hatred towards the Hunt. So she spent years making preparations in the Alchemy Commission in order to take revenge on the Xianzhou.
Revenge is also a form of the Hunt. However, that doesn't explain how she managed to bring the Stellaron into the Scale Gorge waterscape, which was guarded by the Videodora.
Well, you should ask Dan Shu herself for the answer.
Unfortunately, Dan Shu is dead, and even her corpse has crumbled into ash. That's one less clue we can pursue. According to the report, Lord Ravager Fantilia is the mastermind behind the entire conspiracy. She disguised herself as an ambassador of the Skyfaring Commission and traveled with you, only to vanish without a trace later on. It seems too convenient to label her as a scapegoat.
Back then, we were working with Diviner Fu, and she also witnessed Fantilia's true form. You're not going to doubt one of your own people, are you?
Of course not. We can trust the testimony of Master Diviner Fu Xuan. However, even if she saw it with her own eyes, we can't completely rule out the possibility that she might have been deceived. After all, it's suspicious how the culprit just bizarrely vanished. Oh, it seems that your answers have addressed all my questions. Generals, I am finished with my questioning.
So, what do you think, General Fei Shao? Have the doubts in the report been cleared up?
The two nameless have been honest in their answers. Even though there are some tricky details, my intuition tells me there is nothing wrong. However, the 3 questions I posed earlier were not just for the nameless, but for you too, General Jing Yuan. First, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus grew uninterrupted on the Law Fu, yet the 6 charioteers were not aware of it. That was a dereliction of duty. Second, you believed in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy and entrusted outsiders to solve the crisis, even granting them access to the Plague Mark. That was a dereliction of responsibility. Third, you insist on holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, putting the Lawfu back in the spotlight. That is a dereliction of wisdom.
Merlin's Claw. Is this your line of thinking, or the 10 Lords?
From the moment I walked in, I made it clear that the questions I'd ask might not reflect my actual thoughts.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus were deeply rooted and had been plotting for a long time. I admit it was my negligence for not noticing it earlier. As for the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy, I didn't believe all of it, but in the end, the Law Fu did survive the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. So, I think it's safe to say that Elio's prophecy about the future holds some merit. And as for the war dance, do you think I'm unaware of the risks? However, risks can also be opportunities. The Law Fu has lain low for too long. I believe it's time to stir up the dregs hidden in the depths and wash them away once and for all.
Just as I expected from our Sophisticated divine foresight. You have a way with words. I like it. But, unfortunately, ever since the report was submitted, the Alliance has been filled with rumors and speculation. Even within the Lawfu, there are people accusing you of neglecting your duties, resulting in the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection.
So what are your thoughts on all of this, General Fei Shao?
As a fellow Arbiter General, I fully understand the difficulties of this position. Personally, I think all these rumors are meaningless drivel. Across the sea of stars, the Divine Foresight knows better than anyone else what happened on the Lawfu, and the meaning behind it. Just as what happened on the Xianzhou Yaoqing recently.
You mean the Xianzhou Yaoqing is also...
The scouts of the Verdant Knights have sent back reports that Borisin are making trouble again. The Borisin packs that were once divided and scattered have started swallowing each other up, forming larger and larger packs. Moreover, there's an entity named Mongoose behind it all.
An entity?
According to the report, this entity isn't actually a Borisin. It's a woman claiming to be the messenger of the Master of Immortality. She's described as having 12 faces and 12 pairs of fangs, as cruel as poison and as elusive as quicksand. The Borisin believe she'll give them a chance to rise again.
That's Ventilia.
That's right. You're lucky that I'm the one who came this time. If it were the Patina Justice or the Seer Strategist, this conversation might not be so friendly. I've always had faith in my instincts, so I don't doubt your good intentions. But the Alliance has its fair share of questions and doubts about the Lawfu. So, my plan is to come up with an acceptable answer to satisfy the Alliance.
What's in this plan, General Fei Shao?
General Jing Yuan, you already know what has to be done. But since you don't want to be the bad guy, I'll take care of it for you. You need the final word from the Ten Lords Commission to quell any doubts. And for that, I'll have to ask the two Nameless to visit the Shackling Prison. No, I'm not imprisoning you. While you're there, I'll ask a judge in the Ten Lords Commission's Interrogation Division to record a detailed testimony with the karmic mirror from both of you. We'll fill in the gaps that weren't covered in the report, and silence any protest within the Alliance.
I'm okay with that.
Your willingness to help is truly heartwarming, youngsters.
Then, as the Merlin's Claw requests...
Oh, there's one more thing. This testimony is for silencing the voices of opposition within the Alliance, but I would like to urge General Jing Yuan to listen to the pleas of the Foxians on the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
So, you are here for Hule.
Exactly. Hule is locked up in the Lawfu's Shackling Prison. Since he is the Broodlord of the Borisin, I want to transfer him onto the Xianzhou Yaoqing and imprison him there. The recent movements of the Borisin suggest they're planning something big, so we must act preemptively.
It makes sense to have the Foxians keep an eye on their arch-nemesis. Since you trust my judgment, I'll repay that trust. What do you think about all this, General Huayan?
I was worried this would turn into a heated argument, but it seems like both of you are on the same page, solving each other's problems. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
And as for Hule, I'll send my lieutenants Zhao Chou and Moza to check on his condition in prison and ready him for transport. If there are no more questions, shall we get this started?
really sorry about all this. But the testimony in the shackling prison won't take up much of your time. I'll call for a messenger to take you to the interrogation division. You just need to give your testimony, and then you can head back. So no need to worry.
As you wish, General.
As General Jing Yuan requested, everything is prepared for your arrival, and I am here to receive you. The judges at the Interrogation Division also know your purpose in coming.
The shackling prison. I didn't expect to be back here after all these years.
Don Hung.
Don't worry about me.
If you're ready, I'll open the gate for you. This is one of many entrances used for temporary access. Since you're not actual prisoners, it makes sense for you to use this entrance. Please come on in, dear guests.
What are you looking at?
The shackling prison on the Luofu is completely different from the one on the Yaoqing. It's completely underwater.
Whether it's in the clouds or underwater, breaking free would still be a piece of cake for me.
Still thinking about your old jailbreak tricks, huh? Forget it. You're free now. Just don't do anything stupid, or the judges will throw you back in there and lock you up for a few hundred years.
You'll see me again in just a few days.
Taking Hule back to the Yaoqing means a lot to the Foxians on the ship, and to the General herself. So stay alert.
Guests, my name is Shui Yi, and I'm here on orders from the Incarceration Division of the Ten Lords Commission.
We're Jiao Chou and Moza. General Fei Xiao sent us to extradite the Borisin criminal Hule to the Yaoqing. We're here to inspect the conditions of his imprisonment and make preparations for the handover and transportation. I assume you've been briefed, Your Honor.
Your visit request has been approved. I'll be your guide for this trip. Prisoner Hule, the warhead and brood lord of the Borisin Abominations of Abundance and the arch-nemesis of the Foxians, is responsible for 2,123 wars of aggression and countless associated crimes. Due to his heinous acts, he has been imprisoned in the depths of the shackling prison and subjected to the punishment of the Forest of Swords until the end of time. He shall never be pardoned.
No need to repeat his crimes and sentence, Your Honor. He is the greatest enemy of us Foxians. The stories of his atrocities are used to terrify our children. I'm well aware of every crime he's committed. Let's move on to the next step.
When it comes to visiting criminals, there are rules in place to ensure your safety. I know you've heard legends about Hule since you were children, but your knowledge about him is likely very limited. Only the judges of the 10 Lords Commission truly know what kind of abomination is locked up at the bottom of the shackling prison. It has been centuries since Jing Liu, the former sword champion of the Luofu, captured Hu Lei. And during all those years, we never provided him with any food. Yet he somehow managed to stay alive. It defies all the documented physical characteristics of the Borison. The Forest of Swords, forged by the Punishment Division, is a device of intense torment, used to execute sinful abominations. Most Borison die within 3 days in the forest, but Hu Lei is different. Every time the blades pierce him, his body instantly heals. Despite the brutal punishment, he somehow manages to survive. The complex rules are there because of his abnormal characteristics. Do you understand now?
I apologize for any offense caused. Please continue, Your Honor.
I've given you the instructions regarding Hu Lei's visitation. Please make sure you read them carefully. And please, take this pellet before proceeding.
No, I'm not taking random medicine.
Then you won't be allowed to visit Hu Lei.
Just swallow it already. Hu Lei is like all Borison. He can release a pheromone called lupatoxin that induces fear. Thousands of years ago, we Foxians were enslaved by the Borison. Not because we were naturally weaker, but because of their lupatoxin. This pill is for our own mental well-being.
I understand.
I knew you were a reasonable person. Now that we've taken the medicine, let's proceed. Your Honor.
What is it?
No. Never mind. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Let's keep moving.
Here we are. Her Honor hasn't arrived yet. Please wait a moment.
Welcome, dear guests from the Express. Judge Hanya of the Interrogation Division. We've met before. You don't want to see me? Well, in that case, I can call in the judge who's an expert in acupuncture, or the one who's handy with axes and saws, or the one who knows all about whips and ropes. We've got plenty of options here, and we'll find one that suits your taste. Just kidding. We judges work in shifts, and it just happens to be my shift. Maybe we're destined to cross paths. Please allow me to express my gratitude to you again for subduing the demons in the Fixtral Garden.
Looks like while March 7th and I were clueless, you already made many friends on the Xianzhou Luofu.
Even though you and I have met before, we can't show any favoritism under the Ten Lords. So, please do as I command as we head to Scrivener Hall and beyond. Don't do anything without my permission. This is not a place for ordinary mortals. You and Mr. Dunham, please come with me.
Please lead the way, Your Honor.
Please let me activate the mechanism before we all move forward. And please, watch your steps.
It's freezing.
This place is filled with the cold air from the northern peak of the polar delve. Even the toughest long-life species would have a hard time enduring this. Did you hear something just now? Let me check it out. Ugh, what an eyesore. This place is packed with boxes and crates.
These crates, they look oddly familiar.
A few days ago, the Spiritfarers received reports about an IPC transport ship that was attacked by Borison. Then, a bunch of those abominations were dumped into this place. I had a feeling there would be trouble during the war dance, but throwing both the pirates and the cargo in jail? That's a new one. I heard the Intelligentsia Guild crafted something dangerous. We have many records in the Hall of Karma about these wise ones. They love to tinker with forbidden technologies, always trying to push the limits of Ingenia. I caught a glimpse of the mechs in those crates, and they bear a striking resemblance to Borison. I wonder what they're planning this time. Well, business first. Let's keep moving. Strange. I don't remember checking the containment facilities a second time. prepare for action! Emergency! All wardens prepare for action! What's happening here? Why are these things moving on their own? Something is wrong. The guards aren't responding. This thing is going wild, just like a Borison.
Looks like we're on our own for this one.
Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Together as one. Human creations.
This combat needs optimized. This is double speed. More enemies.
Another journey begins. On the still waters of oblivion.
A quick divination. Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Armor damaged.
Free will.
This
or was it
combat needs
fate?
optimized. This is double speed.
Destined for oblivion.
But how is this even possible? The Spiritfarers follow the protocols, cutting off power to the mechs and sealing the crates. How could these mechs still start moving?
It's just like what happened in the Artisanship Commission before. These goods went haywire and attacked everyone in sight. The Alchemy Commission members examined them and found some unusual structures within. These things showing up in the Shackling prison can only mean one thing.
A prison break.
And whoever delivered these goods clearly wanted them to go through the Xianzhou's strict inspection process to show the Skyfaring Commission and Cloud Knights how dangerous they were. They wanted these mechs to end up right here, in the Shackling prison.
If these things already started taking action while nobody was paying attention, then the whole prison is in trouble, I'm afraid. And to make things worse, another group of visitors just entered the depths of the Shackling prison, the messengers from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. And the prisoner they came to visit might be the target whom these wolf-shaped mechs were delivered here for. If that vicious beast manages to break free, it will be a catastrophe for the Xianzhou Luofu.
Here we are.
Have we arrived already, Your Honor? Shouldn't there be a cage here?
The most notorious felons are locked away in the solitary delves, deep down in the prison. Those delves can't be opened without proper authorization. The blue bird paves the path, and the Stygian lanterns illuminate it. Help me light up these lanterns, and the way to the bottom of the Shackling prison will reveal itself. I've given you the diagrams for lighting the lanterns. Please take a look.
another puzzle.
The path is open. Once we descend to the bottom of the prison, please do not do anything reckless. Inside the delve, behind this door, is the greatest enemy of the Foxians, Hule. According to custom, envoys from the Yao Qing visit the Xianzhou La Fu once every century to check on this abomination's imprisonment and condition. Even though the Ten Lords Commission sentenced Hule to the Forest of Swords, suffering every day for the rest of his life, I understand that the Yao Qing messengers want to see him dead. Unfortunately, for the past 7 centuries, they've had to return disappointed. Because this beast simply can't be killed.
If we can use his toxin to create medicine and save an innocent life, it might help balance out some of the sins he's committed. Could you be the key to a cure for the General, Hule?
And once again, the envoys of the Yao Qing will leave disappointed. However, I won't say the same for me and my brothers.
Who's there?
I'm just a humble counselor of the Rhino Hound Pack. You can call me Mock Talk.
Wardens, intruders on the lowest level! Send reinforcements!
Nobody will hear you here, at the bottom of the shackling prison. Thank you for opening up the prison for us, Your Honor. We'll take it from here.
No wonder I kept smelling that familiar stench. So it wasn't just my imagination. Do your thing, Morza.
We mustn't let these abominations get any closer! Detestable things. There are too many of them.
Once we were inside the shackling prison,
It's better to make
we found soldiers available for us everywhere.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
I suggest you surrender now. Of course, I'll still kill you. But I promise it'll be
By
sweet.
her presence. Since you're already here, why not have a meal before you leave?
Free will, or was it fate? On the still waters of oblivion.
Together as one. All things in this world, human creations.
Again?
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
It's better to make no move.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
How presumptuous! Die now!
Leave if you can, Morza.
It's not time yet.
A little more heat. I'm honored by your presence. Since you're already here, why not have a meal before you leave?
Commencing support. Ready for another? Enemy
Another
data
journey
secured.
begins.
Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Destined for oblivion.
A quick divination.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Guard the gate! They can't be allowed in!
I've waited for too long. My first meal after regaining my freedom is the flesh and blood of my fellow kindred. A sad scene indeed.
It's been a long time, boy. Welcome back.
How many times has the old verdant home spun around since our last hunt? Duran's whelp. Tell me your name.
Oh, great Hule, nemesis of the Foxians, and the hunter of all beings. I'm Moktok, a humble counselor of the Rhino Hound Pack. I am only one insignificant heir spawned from your bloodline. It's been at least 7 centuries since you led our pack through the hunting grounds of the stars. I'm thrilled to see that you are as cunning and skillful as ever.
7 centuries. 7 centuries have passed. But why have Duran's whelps grown to look like this? Tell me, Moktok, why have you grown to resemble our most despicable slaves and enemies, the Foxians?
I've been commanded to release you from this cursed prison. It is Senjaya's will. That's why I had to take a magic pill, don the skin of a lowly beast, and play along with their hypocrisy.
Since you have an escape plan, tell me, what's our next move to get off of this ridiculously large ship?
My brothers and I will lock down this prison, trapping the prison guards inside. This will buy us some time. The rest of my crew, who are undercover like me, will secure the vessels for our escape. According to the plan, we only have a tight 2-hour window to get out of here. Originally, I intended to carry out the plan tomorrow, but they're planning to transfer you to the Xianzhou Yaoqing now. So I seized this opportunity to set you free.
What a reckless plan, you idiot! Even if we manage to get the ships, our chances of escaping are slimmer than the Foxian slipping through my claws!
But we have no other choice. The angel serving under the Master of Immortality sent me with a message. Only your return will end the prolonged divisions among the Borisin. Every one of my crew is ready to lay down their lives if it means setting you free.
A sneaky weakling like you is actually showing some reckless bravery with this plan. Fine. You'll get what you want. And all of Duran's whelps will too.
Well then, my lord. We should leave now.
Before we go, give me one of those magic pills.
My lord, you seriously want to don the skin of a lowly beast? That would be a disgrace to your greatness, my lord.
You idiot. Greatness means nothing without freedom. Once I get out, I'll need a disguise that won't raise any suspicion.
As you wish, my lord.
Is that Foxian slave my meal?
No, he's an envoy from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. I plead you to endure him a bit, my lord, as he's more valuable as a hostage. Take him, guys. Time to move out.
Madam Hanya, the wardens in all areas are regrouping. Those Ingenium enemies are wandering around and causing heavy casualties. And to make things worse, those iron wolves broke open the cages and let the criminals out. We've called for backup, but it seems like all communication is jammed.
Let's preserve our strength and first take down the isolated prisoners. By decree of the Ten Lords, all prison breakers and intruders shall be apprehended, dead or alive.
Just a short time ago, the Nether Key mechanism was activated. It was probably Madame Shui and the Yaoqing messengers, heading to the bottom of the prison. Given the situation, I'm afraid that area is exactly where our enemies are targeting.
We mustn't let that vile beast escape from its cage.
We've gathered all the prison guards who can still fight, and we'll split up and secure each floor.
Go!
Those intruders are quite bold. They must have been planning this for quite a while.
Indeed, but Borisin tend to favor direct and aggressive approaches. Crafting careful and precise plans like this is simply not their style. Let's focus on the current situation right now. Please help me.
What's the fastest way to the bottom of this prison, Miss Hanya? If we don't get there quickly, we'll soon be outnumbered by all the enemies inside.
We'll have to bend the rules. Please, follow me.
Prisoners must remain in place and obey the
By decree of the Ten Lords, all prison breakers and intruders shall be apprehended, dead or alive.
Yes, ma'am!
Hold your position here.
Yes, ma'am.
We need a few tools if we want to reach the bottom quickly. Follow me to the next floor. The path is cut off. Someone must have altered the mechanism. No matter. It'll just require a bit more work to get through. Some Spiritfarers occasionally use Ingenia from the Artisanship Commission to navigate the treacherous terrain here. Normally, using devices like the shifting screen is strictly forbidden, as they could help prisoners escape. But, given the urgency of the situation, let's just ignore the usual regulations.
Hey Ash, how you doing?
The nether key has been activated. I hope we're not too late. Hang in there, sister.
Looks like there was a fierce battle here not long ago.
The gate to the prison delve is wide open. Hule has managed to break free. Where are the Yaoqing messengers? And where's my sister? Are they still alive?
Let's look around. Maybe we'll find some clues.
Don't forget to let your friends in on the action.
Shui is here.
Miss Shui bravely sacrificed herself. My condolences, Miss Hanya.
Condolences. Well, that's unnecessary. You misunderstand. Thanks to the Ten Lords' blessing, my sister turned into an Ingenium centuries ago. Dying and returning as just a soul to the Hall of Karma's document office has become a routine for her. While I'm not keen on seeing her throw away her body like it's some replaceable part, but... By the way, have you seen bodies that might be the Yaoqing messengers? One of them is a Foxian wearing exquisite clothes, and the other wears a dark cloak, like a fugitive.
No. I haven't found any Foxian bodies. Only Borisan ones.
So, the intruders and Hule are holding the Yaoqing messengers hostage. This is the worst situation. With hostages in their grasp, the prison guards can't do anything about the prisoners. If anything happens to the messengers, the relationship between the Yaoqing and the Luofu could be irreversibly damaged. We must rescue the messengers, get out of here, and spread the news. We mustn't give up as long as there's a glimmer of hope.
What have you found, Miss Hanya?
Reconstruct. It's my sister. Looks like her soul hasn't returned to the Hall of Karma yet. At such a critical moment, her death can give us information that we can turn into an advantage. Let me see. The damage isn't too bad. If I can fix it up, my sister will have a temporary body.
Unfortunately, in that case, that's actually bad.
Hanya, I'm back.
Welcome back, sister. I don't know what kind of expression I should have at a time like this. Happy? Tears of joy? Forget it. I'm used to you coming back in all sorts of forms.
Just don't let me be damaged again. I'll lose my memories. This side crane can't hold all of me.
Sister, what did you see when you were killed?
One of the Yaoqing messengers escaped, and the other one was taken hostage and brought upwards?
Besides the Borison, there were other intruders. Invisible.
Invisible intruders? What does that even mean? How many conspiracies are tangled up in this mess? Do me a favor, sister. The intruders have cut off all communication between inside and outside the prison. And now you're the only person, the only bird, who can slip out undetected. Make sure you deliver the news to the outside world.
I understand. Please be careful, sister. You are different from me.
Time is running out, Miss Hanya. If we keep delaying, those Borison will escape from the prison.
All right. If we happen to come across that Yaoqing messenger who got away... No. Stopping Hule should probably be our top priority.
Wait! Something feels off. Something's approaching us.
The invisible intruders?
Watch your back!
These abominations aren't prisoners from this prison.
You took the bait?
Free will, or was it fate on the still waters of oblivion?
Together as one! All things in this world human creations! This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
Again? I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
You took the bait?
The prison management on the Lawfu is truly concerning.
Who are you?
Aren't you looking for me?
You took the bait? This combat needs This is double speed.
Destined for oblivion.
Commencing support. You took the bait. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Just focus on the fight.
Again?
Merciful Medicus!
Enemy targets detected. This combat needs optimal. This is double speed.
On the still waters of oblivion.
A quick divination together as one. No matter. Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
A miracle.
Yin and yang. Ready for another?
Destined for oblivion.
All things in this world have their human creations. This combat needs optimal. This is double speed. Commencing support.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Another blood debt repaid.
The prison management on the Lawfu is truly concerning. So what if I repeat it? It's the truth after all. The prison management on the Lawfu is truly concerning. At least 2 different groups of intruders infiltrated here. The Wolf Cubs and these Mara-struck soldiers. Their hiding technique, it's pretty similar to the Wind Mantle technique used by the Vidyadhara serving Kylorum Venti on the Yaoqing. What do you think? Well, never mind if you don't have any clues. Now is not the time to exchange assassination techniques. I'm Waza. My friend fell into the clutches of that wolf. I was planning to escape and report back as quickly as possible, but now it seems... The prison on the Lawfu is a real maze, I must admit.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Moza. We'll do our best to ensure your friend's safety.
No, you can do nothing for him now. And you shouldn't be focusing on his safety at the moment.
Your friend is in Hule's clutches and you're just going to leave him behind?
Look, I'm the Yaoqing General's guard, not his. I've seen how that giant wolf fights, and there's no way. Trying to save my friend will only get us killed. I don't know how you think, but I won't throw my life away for a lost cause. Listen up. I've been tracking these fugitives, and I know their next move. They're planning to seal off the entire prison to keep the outside world in the dark. The worst-case scenario, we are all killed by that giant wolf, and the shackling prison is sealed off. No one will know about us or about their escape until it's too late. And the best-case scenario... The best case scenario would be we seal the gates and trap the enemy inside with us. We can't let that monstrous wolf escape. Hopefully, someone will eventually notice that something is off and come to help. As for whether we'll still be alive by then, it's not something we should think about.
You sure have a way of comforting people, Mr. Mortar.
As a person of the Yaoqing, I've always searched for something meaningful to give my life to.
I have to make it out alive. My companions are waiting for me.
As a netherworld dweller, I've already died once.
Yeah. We won't give up. Not until the very last moment.
None of you are part of the Ten Lords' commission, so sacrificing yourselves isn't the right move. As a judge, it's my responsibility to guard this prison, and if someone should step up to stop Hule from escaping, it should be me, not you. Once we reach the gate, I hope you'll help me seal it. After that, I'll do everything I can to fight the Borisin, and you find a safe place to hide and wait for reinforcements. Now, let's proceed upward.
Stream forth. Seek, and you will find. Stream forth. Gleam both blades.
We must seal the entrance before the Borisin fugitives get out. The prison wardens and mechanisms won't be able to hold them for long. Follow me. We're almost there. The gate is just ahead.
Stream forth. The gleam of old blades.
And stop!
I will hold them back. Don't let Hule escape.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack! Do we still have the upper hand?
Another
This
journey
combat
begins.
needs up to... This is double speed.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Another blood debt repaid. Stream forth. Gleam forth flames.
This brings back such familiar memories. Memories of chasing, gnawing, and tearing. They're back. They're back. They've all come back.
My lord, we're just one step away from freedom. As we pass through the gate, no one will be able to stop us.
So this hostage is useless now. Kill him, Moktok.
He's getting away. Do something, Jiao. It's just like the old days, you useless loser. Just do something!
Maybe this Yao Qing messenger can strike a deal in exchange for his life. He can use his status to help us escape from the Xianzhou. What do you think, Mr. Jiao?
Oh, just look at you. Fallen so low during my absence. You're even negotiating with livestock. As far as I recall, no one from the Yao Qing would ever consider a deal with Duran's offspring.
I've got to make this beast stay here. Whether it's for the sake of Fei Shao or the Yao Qing. Deal. I certainly have more value alive. My identity, my knowledge of the Xianzhou, and my understanding of many things that your minions have no knowledge of. They'll all be valuable.
Lowly beast. Muster up that pitiful tongue of yours and plead for what remains of your life. Speak up.
I'm afraid you're unaware. The woman who defeated you, Jing Liu, she has recently returned to the Luofu. Your opportunity for revenge is right in front of you.
My lord, this slave is talking nonsense. I've never heard anything about this. May I just kill him now?
Silence, Moktok. And you, slave. From now on, you'll stay by my side. You'll only speak and move when I allow you to. Otherwise, I'll dismember you from head to tail, inch by inch. Got it?
But my lord...
We must stay here for some time, Moktok. Fear not. Because once I step out of the prison, it's the people of the Xianzhou who should tremble in fear. I'll show them what true calamity means. Now, Duran's whelps, follow me! Prison guards, stop them! For our great Lord Hulai!
Prisoners must remain in place and obey the guard. Those who fail to comply will face severe punishment.
Report! After we lost contact with the shackling prison, we received a message from a Psycrane. The prisoners have revolted, and the criminal Hule is nowhere to be found!
What about the Yaoqing messengers and the Nameless?
No news at the moment. We're trying to restore contact with the shackling prison as soon as possible.
I see. You're dismissed. General Jing Yuan, General Hua Yan. It's just as we suspected. The rise of the Ambrosial Arbor was not the end of things, but the beginning. The hand of the Ruined Legion has already sown the seeds of destruction. From this moment on, the Xianzhou Alliance will face an even greater challenge, from both the abominations of abundance and the destruction itself. If this is what they want, I'm always up for a challenge. As the Marshal Special Envoy, I'll dispatch the Lawfu Cloud Knights to pursue Hule myself.
Looks like the hidden dregs have finally come to the surface. And as I said before, it's time to wash them away, once and for all.
This haven of memories. Every touch, every moment is like a thorned rose.
Tuskira wrap, song lotus cake, guaranteed delicious.
Did you hear?
Hey Ash, are you still here? Just figured I'd give you a heads up.
All right. Now that you're in position, Miss March, let's get this lesson started.
I'm not good at acting all master-like. Since Grandpa asked me to teach you swordplay, I won't hold back any secrets.
Thank you so much, Masters! Oh, wait. Does this mean our training is only officially starting right now?
After all, we need to watch you practice for a few days before we can figure out how talented you are, right?
So, how'd I do, Master?
You're definitely talented, Miss March.
Hey, here you are. Did you hear that? These two masters just called me a swordplay genius. Just wait until I go back. Everyone's going to be so wowed by my new skills.
Swordplay requires rigorous training. Before we start, Miss March, you need to find a clear reason to keep you motivated while you train. It doesn't have to be something huge, but it needs to be clear.
In other words, even though you didn't exactly choose to be our apprentice, you still need to take the initiative during this learning process.
I once had the honor of learning swordplay from a master. She asked me why I started training at such a young age, why I wielded a sword. So, for our first lesson, I'd like to ask you the same question. Miss March, why do you wield your sword?
Why do I wield my sword? I wield my sword to take down my enemies. I mean, what other reason is there?
I also questioned that sword master about why she uses her sword, and she said, to vanquish my enemies, nothing more. Miss March, you gave a similar response, which shows you've got potential.
The best way to take down your enemy is with a blaster gun. I heard a hero say something like that in an immersia. He also mentioned that sword training can push a person's physical abilities to their ultimate limit.
Seems like you've seen your fair share of immersion, Miss March. But if you want my opinion, if your goal is self-improvement, you'll feel just as accomplished even if you put down the sword and go back to your bow.
Oh, come on. Don't listen to his empty talk.
Oh? Now I'm curious to hear what Master Yun Li has to say.
Let me ask you something, March. Do you have any specific goals for learning swordplay? Like achieving a certain ranking in the war dance, or maybe you want to defeat someone, like Yan Qing, or me.
Who do I want to defeat? Her? Dan Heng? Himeko? Or Mr. Yang?
If you can't think of anyone specific, why not set a simpler goal? Like, how many opponents do you want to defeat at once with a sword?
I'll fight 10!
10?
Oops, that just slipped out. It's actually another line from an immersia. Yeah, I really like them. So what?
I think I figured out what's motivated March to learn swordplay.
Could it possibly be immersia about swordmasters?
Hey, now that you mention it, that actually makes sense. I'm super interested in Xianzhou immersia and novels. Even though I use a bow, almost all the great heroes in those immersia use swords. So I want to be a swordmaster too.
See?
It doesn't matter. Everyone has their own preferences.
Becoming a swordmaster who fights for justice and battles evil? Well, that's definitely a good reason to keep you motivated in swordplay training.
Now that you've both given your approval, I have another small request. I want to perform a tea ceremony to honor you as my masters. Remember, you'll need to tap the table a few times with your fingers.
Tea ceremony? Tap the table? Do we have to be so serious about accepting an apprentice for the first time?
Please? That's how those heroes in the Immersia show their respect.
That's even more unnecessary.
Let's just stop wasting time. Just treat us to some milk tea. And then we can start our real swordplay training, okay?
Yeah! All right, let's go. To the Sleepless Earl.
I'm planning on quitting my job aside.
Hey, this is not how it's supposed to be, right? The Cienjo is known for its tea culture and hospitality, but you're not treating me like a guest at all. Seriously, am I not a guest?
Dear guest.
Stop! Don't call me a guest. You're not even treating me as one. I want my tea just right. Not too hot, not too cold, but the tea you served was either freezing or scalding. Is this how you treat your guest on the Cienjo? How fantastic! Your tea tastes like slop, and you even have the nerve to charge me for it! Are you trying to scam honest folks? And that name, the Sleepless Earl, it's so hard to remember. How about we give you a new plaque that says, Cienjo Slop? It suits this place better, don't you think?
Stop! You've gone too far.
Oh, who's that trying to be a hero?
It's me, March 7th. Cause more trouble and I'll show you who your mommy is. Wait, that sounded lame. Hey, say something for me. That's right! I'm the Sword Champion!
Never heard of you. Now scurry back to wherever you crawled out from.
Mr. Scott, I'm Yenching, a Cloud Knight Lieutenant. We've met before, and I suggest you stop causing trouble.
Trouble? Ha! I'm just giving some feedback as a regular customer. The tea here is terrible, and now the Cloud Knights want to stop me from complaining about it? At this rate, who would want to ever come here for tea in the future?
A regular customer? You?
Yeah, what else would I be? The Cienjo's prisoner?
Anyway, if you're trying to bully this young lady, you'd better watch out for the weapon in my hand.
Huh? Oh, that really scares me. Come on, you're not seriously trying to take my life with that piece of scrap metal, are you?
Scrap metal? This is my sword! I'm here to learn Cienjo swordplay.
Swordplay? Oh, I get it now. It's just another kind of play, right? That explains why you're dressed like you're in a show. You're not even from the Cienjo, so why bother learning their swordplay? If you're feeling unsafe, I can sell you an IPC mech.
Ha! As if anyone wants your junkyard scrap mechs!
Looks like you guys are totally clueless. Well, guess it's time to show these bumpkins something serious.
Just a reminder, IPC members, street fighting on the Cienjo Lafu is prohibited.
Make any funny moves, and I'll smash that scrap metal.
Hey, relax. I know the rules. These are my subordinates. They got stuck here because of the transport ship incident, and they need to vent their frustration. In the end, it's all the Xianzhou's fault. Well, I can overlook the terrible tea, but now that you're questioning my security, I can't let it slide. After all, I have a courier business to run, and with so many clients watching, that just wouldn't look too good now, would it? Instead of wasting your life learning useless swordplay, why not invest in our civilian mechs? You'll have your master kneeling and begging for mercy in no time.
Stop! Don't you dare insult Xianzhou swordplay like that! If you have the guts, I'll show your mechs what I can do.
Huh? A fight, you say? Now that you've thrown down the gauntlet, March 7th, I feel I'm obliged to accept your challenge. Say whatever you want, but once you've seen what our mechs can do, you'll be practically begging us for them. Oh, come on! How could I say no to a bet? So, I can see you're no master yet, March, but I'll play fair. You go back and learn swordplay from your teachers here, and in 15 days, I'll come find you and challenge you with my mechs.
Only 15 days? All right. Fine.
And if you lose, you'll have to bark like a dog in public and shout, "Xianzhou swordplay is a total joke!" You'll stand at the entrance of our room alley and say it to everyone passing by. Oh, and if that's the case, just forget about your master and become my apprentice instead. I'll teach you how to pilot a mech.
And if I win?
I'll become your apprentice?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't like you.
Okay, how about this? If I lose, I'll squeal like a pig in public and say, IPC mechs are a total joke! And I'll even print that on every mech on the transport ship. Deal?
Squealing isn't enough. You also need to apologize to the owner of the Sleepless Earl and take back what you said about Xianzhou swordplay.
Fine, I get it. But you've got to actually beat me with that little scrap of metal first. You all heard it, right? We'll meet again in 15 days. Let's go.
Are you okay?
Yes. Thank you all for your timely help. The shop facing a bit of flack from visitors is a minor issue, but Miss March's decisions to challenge him is serious. Oh, I feel responsible as if the shop has inconvenienced you.
Don't worry. I can't stand by and watch someone be bullied. I have to stand up against injustice, no matter what.
Not only do you speak like a hero from an immersia, but you also have a kind heart. Your charisma has completely won me over, Miss March.
I'm not quite a hero. Yet.
Oh, I know you're here for the tea ceremony. Please, come inside.
Thanks for the invitation, but right now, I just want to focus on practicing swordplay. Masters, let's save the tea for later.
Sure, the tea can wait for now. However, I have a question, Miss March. How confident are you about the bet you just made?
Come on, how could I possibly lose?
You're right. It seems she really hasn't considered anything. I don't see any issue with it. Let March give it a shot. As long as she trains diligently, I believe she can easily deal with that hunk of IPC scrap metal.
As long as she trains diligently.
I'm now filled with determination, Masters. I'll learn swordplay well and teach that guy a lesson. You're my most trusted friend. You'll be my assistant teacher and make sure I learn swordplay properly. Hey, when have I ever treated you poorly? Masters, Miss Teaching Assistant, let's go back and start the training now.
I'm planning on quitting my job.
That IPC guy will show up in 15 days. I've gotta become a swordmaster by then.
Becoming a swordmaster in a mere 15 days is quite challenging.
But we can't lose our momentum, Master Yun Li.
Momentum alone will only keep you going for about 3 days. If you really want to stick with it, you need a solid plan.
No worries. I've found my professional teaching assistant to help me organize the lessons, so there won't be any problems. Rest assured, Masters. If not in me, at least place your faith in her, my trusty sidekick.
Miss March is really passionate about learning swordplay, and now she has a clear goal in mind. That's a good thing for her. There are many ways to defeat villains, but if you want to become a true hero, you have to focus on self-improvement. I hope you will always remember this, Miss March.
Got it. It's all etched into my memory.
Since you've got that in mind, it's time for me to set some targets for you.
Please, go ahead, Master Yun Li.
We'll have 3 exams during these 15 days. If you pass our tests, those pieces of IPC scrap won't stand a chance. But if you fail...
That would mean Yun Li is a terrible teacher. And if that's the case, I hope you won't force yourself to take on the challenge, Miss March.
Hey! You are the terrible teacher here.
I understand. In the Immersia, the disciple and the master share both honor and disgrace. If the apprentice fails, the master loses face too.
Well, there aren't that many customs on the Xianzhou. I'm just worried about you getting hurt.
But as long as you practice diligently and pass the tests, we'll feel confident about your duel. Now, let's go back to the first question I asked you. I'm sure you found a reason to wield your sword, right, Miss March?
Absolutely! I wield my sword to become a hero! I want to fight for justice, punish the wicked, and make them quiver in fear and run away when they see me!
Then keep that fire burning, and learn with all your heart.
You haven't said much, Miss Teaching Assistant. Any suggestions before we officially start training? Exactly! I prefer the cool, calm, and ruthless way of doing things. That's my kind of style. That's enough chit-chat for now. Don't forget to keep an eye on my swordplay practice. That's enough training for today. I need time to absorb everything. Did I really just learn that? I guess I am pretty awesome after all. What do you recommend?
I don't think so.
I learned so much today. Well done, me. Let's do...
Yep, this is her new path. And this is how you get all of her Eidolons. So, what I'm trying to do is knock out all the limited rewards, because I'm saving up for 2.5.
How should I go about this?
Great! Today, you'll face your first test. It's all about the basics.
Oh, I know! It's float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, right?
That's boxing? But close enough, I guess.
Grasping the basics is crucial to mastering swordplay, Miss March. Focus on wielding your sword properly, making your thrusts swift and strikes brisk.
And parries should be fluid and nimble. Got it!
See? Even March is getting bored of your rambling.
But I'm actually not bored at all.
Miss March is still a novice, so I'm giving her some tips on the basics to help her better understand them. Neglecting the basics will only make you vulnerable in a fight. Even for an extraordinary sword master like you, Yunli.
Just focus on your teaching. Why bring me into this?
What? Didn't General Huyan offer you any guidance?
Looks like your general hasn't told you to stop hopping around like a sparrow in a fight, huh?
Miss March has been learning the basics of swordplay, and now it's time to put her knowledge to the test.
Unsheath your swords and show me what you've got, March.
According to the schedule, there's a test today, right? I'm ready. Another new move under my belt. I gotta find time to try it out. Not very sportsmanlike. Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less carbs, what? Yeah! Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less carbs, what? Awesome! Looks like I passed the test, right?
Yeah. Well done. You passed with flying colors.
Great! Hey, hurry up and congratulate me. Ah, jeez, you sound just like those parents on the Xianzhou. Can't I get some praise now? I couldn't have done it without my masters and you, Miss Teaching Assistant. So if I were to take on that IPC guy now, what would you say are my chances?
You already have a martial arts background and plenty of real combat experience. With swordplay guidance from me and Yunli, if you were to challenge the IPC's security mechs now, I believe...
You wouldn't stand a chance.
Yunli's... right.
No chance? Hey, are you trying to crush my confidence? I'm the kind of girl who performs better when I'm showered with praise, just so you know. Oh, come on. on. You're just talking nonsense to keep me motivated.
I thought teaching March was just something of a hobby, but now, actually seeing her progress gives me a sense of accomplishment.
Oh, really? So now you finally acknowledge her talent, Master Yunli? Don't worry, Miss March. I've been serious about teaching you from the start.
Don't try to cause a rift between us. Every move and technique I taught March is straight from the Juming art of swordplay.
15 days of training is short, Miss March. Whether you pass or fail this test, I hope you'll continue with the basics, because that's your best shot at winning. After every test, the General would take me to the Artisanship Commission for sword maintenance. Let's go, Miss March. Today, I'll follow the General's example as a way of acknowledging your progress.
Thank you, Master Yanqing!
So, have you found any information about her?
Yeah, that girl is one of the nameless on the Astral Express. Oh, she's no pushover. Don't you think this bet's a bit too risky?
Yeah, it is. So what? Have you seen those big shots in the Strategic Investment Department? Do they ever make safe bets? She thinks she can fool me by flying under the radar? You there! Get me the most powerful mech we've got!
Understood. Checking the inventory now.
Now I'm curious to see what this 15-day crash course apprentice is really capable of.
Another step closer to star-crazing glass greatsword.
Anyway, it's getting late for me, so I'm gonna call it here. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.